Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Daisy Gates. What's up, y'all? I know it's been a minute since I posted a podcast, but I had to take me a little break. I had to take me a little mental break. I had to gather thyself together. Anywho, so I did a podcast about teachers' mental health. Now, if you didn't listen to that one, go in my podcast and listen to that because the school year is starting back up and I need for y'all to understand about your mental. So I was talking about the teachers. Now it is time to talk about the students' well-being and you as an educator or as a parent as well, or a friend to your classmate or auntie or whoever. You need to pay attention. I'm going to talk about just students, but a student to me could be to you your son, your daughter. It can be your niece or your nephew. It can be your granddaughter or grandson, so on. It could be your cousin. It could be your best friend. So I'm just going to keep it as in mental health in the teachers in the public school system, but it also can go beyond that. So let's get it started now. Mental health is an important aspect of overall well-being, and it significantly affects student academic performance and personal development. Teachers play a crucial role in supporting students' mental health within the public school system. So I'm going to talk about some key points to consider when you're regarding mental health and teachers in the public school system. So first thing is awareness and recognition. This is very important to teachers as well as others beyond a teacher. Teachers should receive training and resources to recognize signs of mental health issues in students. This can include understanding symptoms of anxiety, depression, stress, or other conditions that may impact students' well-being and academic performance. Now, I am aware and I recognize when people are going through things. I can say that I have like a spiritual connection. God has given me the gift because there are times when I knew some students were going through things, and then there are times I had to tell some students because they will always play around with that and say, I'm depressed, I have anxiety. Like they used to think it was just something just you should just say just because, when in reality, this is something real serious. And I want to get into that because sometimes some students there's a high percentage of students that deal with this anxiety, depression, stress, and other conditions because of school, too much testing. Then they're dealing with so much at a very young age with certain things with their parents, and it's just I could go down the whole list of things. Now let's get into number 2, where the next one is supportive environment. You have to create a supportive and inclusive classroom environment. It is very essential for students' mental health. You as an educator can promote open communication, foster positive relationships, and encourage peer support among students. A positive classroom climate helps students feel safe and valued, which can positively impact their mental health. Now I try to do the best I can for a positive classroom climate. I always ask, like, genuinely, how y'all doing? How was y'all day? And I let them vent. There are some students, they would just, say things and I know it make them feel better. So we just need to be supportive. And sometimes I'm like, did you talk to your parents about that? Do you need to go see the counselor? Did you talk to the counselor about that? And sometimes a certain percentage of students will say yeah, and a certain percentage of students will say, my parents don't listen to me, they don't care, things like that. Sometimes these students feel like you as a parent don't care for them. Just because you're buying them this and buying them that does not mean that you're being that is a supportive thing for them, because a lot of times they just want you to listen. A lot of times children are talking and you're not listening. You're listening to them, but you're not really listening to them, if that makes sense. All right, let's move along. Early intervention. Teachers are often in a position positioned to identify early warning signs of mental health difficulties. So teachers can collaborate with school counselors, administrators, and parents to ensure students receive the necessary support and appropriate referrals for professional help, because there were times when I've seen students act different. Yeah, excuse me, I got a stuffy nose. I have the slightest clue why. It just all of a sudden came. But anywho, I had students that when I was aware of certain things, I would email their parents and let them know that they're acting this type of way, to make them aware. Or sometimes I would take the student outside or just ask them, "You all right? You okay?" And some would be like, "Yeah, I'm okay." But I understand deep down inside, some of them was not really okay, and they say they okay. And there are times I have talked to other teachers and say, "Do you have this certain student in your class? What is this?" Or sometimes I wouldn't know what's going on. Sometimes we as special area or connections teachers, we will be the last to know a lot of things about students, like what's being dealt with on a daily basis with their regular teachers. Yeah. The next one is emotional regulation and coping strategies. Teachers can incorporate social emotional learning strategies into their curriculum to help students develop emotional regulation and coping skills. So these skills can equip students with tools to manage stress, build resilience, and improve their overall mental well-being. So there are times when I will have the students take a break. We'll go outside. Sometimes we'll walk the hall, go to the bathroom, either before class, during class, and things of that nature. Or we'll just have a short break. And they would tell me some things that were going, I let them vent. You got to let these children vent. Vent as in talking, expressing themselves. And I tell them anyway from the beginning, if you're not having a not so good day, I get it. Because I tell them that I was not having a not so good, like, look, Miss Gates is not doing too well. Sometimes I wasn't feeling well. And sometimes when I say I wasn't doing well, I was dealing with a lot of mental things myself. So And I also let the children know when they say, "Oh, these teachers tweaking, all these teachers this and that." Now, I get it, but also I get where they're coming from. That's why I tell people I'm neutral on a lot of things. But then you have the students that constantly just deliberately do things and talk about the teachers, and I have to check them like, "Listen, now you know how you act in my class. Now I know you probably act like that." And then you got other students like, "Yep. That's it. That's what they do." But yeah. And also another thing is destigmatizing mental health. Teachers can actively contribute to stigmatizing mental health by promoting discussions around mental health, sharing personal experiences if comfortable. That I will share some things, but not as much as in depth. And incorporating mental health education into the curriculum by normalizing conversations around mental health. Students are more likely to seek help when needed. Sometimes students would tell me some things and I'm like, oh my God. Or sometimes I would find out things about some students and I was like, no wonder they started acting different. Y'all just don't know, boy. Even though I couldn't take as much as the behavior issues, and I had good behavior management, but sometimes even the students dealt with the same thing me as a teacher dealt with. It just overwhelmed. Some students were scared to even go to the bathroom with some students because of just behaviors not being taken care of, and that adds to students' mental health. Another one is collaboration with school support staff. Teachers should collaborate with school counselors, psychologists, and other support staff to address mental health concerns. They can work together to develop individualized support plans, implement strategies in the classroom, and ensure continuity of care for students requiring specialized services. Another one is teacher well-being. Teachers yourself can experience stress and burnout, which can impact your ability to support students' mental health effectively. So I told y'all before, there is something that I've talked about in another podcast, mental health for teachers. So the school system should prioritize teacher well-being by providing resources for self-care, professional development of mental health topics, and access to support services when needed. But a lot of times, educators feel that they are not supported in that area because they will say one thing to have self-care, and then they want to allow you to take days off because they don't have enough coverage for their school. So with that being said, they got to make this make sense and make it be truthful. You get what I'm saying? Not to just have a professional development saying take care of your mental health, and then when people want a day, when teachers need a day off, that you make it hard for them. You threaten them with emails. That's not good. In order to do that, teachers do need days off in order to be mentally well to present to students. So if students are going through issues, that they'll be able to listen and handle it as well. Last but not least, community partnership. Engaging with community organizations and mental health professionals can enhance the resources available to support students' mental health. Teachers can collaborate with external organizations to bring in guest speakers, organize workshops, or facilitate mental health awareness campaigns within the school community. So, if your school does that, that is so awesome. But this year, if you felt that you needed that last year, you hear this and you say, oh, that's a good idea, go ahead and make that happen. Okay? I want y'all to have a great school year. I want the bond to be great between the teachers and the students. All right. So it is essential for schools and educational systems to prioritize mental health and provide adequate resources, training, and support for teachers by fostering a supportive and inclusive environment. Teachers can make a positive impact on students' mental well-being, academic achievement, and overall development. Okay. Remember, it's beyond the classroom as well. Make sure you check in on these students. Let's not be selfish. Let's make sure that they are okay. Don't get too busy in your life and not know that you are missing out on your child's or your student's mental well-being. All right? That's very important. And if you are listening as a student, as a child, make sure you take care of your mental health. Make sure you let a teacher know that you're going through things. If you can't talk to your teacher, go to the counselor. If you can't talk to your friend. Don't get mad at your friend. If you're telling your friend something, your friend feels that they need an adult to handle the situation that you are going through. Don't get mad at them because they are saving you. That's a good friend. Now, if a friend don't say something, then that means they're not your friend. Okay, I hope y'all having an amazing school year. If you need to listen to this again, go ahead and listen to it. You can don't share, don't share, as long as you came to the end. And I thank you for listening. You have an amazing day, afternoon, or night, wherever you may be in the world. Bye.